Mr. Visagie, your thoughts on this tournament?
This tournament to me was a very auspicious occasion because we could celebrate 100 years of rugby in the community. And my mind goes back to the early days of Thistle Rugby Club, when we played sport in a community framework, where we could, through the struggle, bring out people and give them the best of rugby that was at that time. We played rugby that people could still speak about. We belonged to the Rhodes tournament, and we played rugby with many different provinces under the South African Rugby Union, SARU, which was a SACOS affiliated body. And it is there where we used to enjoy ourselves. But today, rugby has changed to such an extent that it is difficult that even in our communities, rugby is the loser. We're at the AR Abbas Stadium in Kimberley, where we just completed the Thistle Centenary tournament over the Easter weekend. And it was wonderful to see that the Thistle Rugby Club is still in existence. And my thought is that we should continue, but it's very difficult as we have tried to get sponsorships, to launch our brochure, to celebrate our centenary in a proper way. But it was very difficult and hard work to bring this tournament to fruition, especially from the South African Rugby Union side. The sponsorship that they gave and the assistance was very little. So fortunately, we could rely on Vodacom, which was actually, and the Solplaatjie municipality of Kimberley, and also the sports and art, sports and culture of the Northern Cape. To them we say, thank you very much for assisting us financially, where we could host at least our teams and accommodated them and supply them with meals. And it was good to hear that there is a mandate from Sports, Arts and Culture that they will be with the Thistle Rugby Club and the Universal Rugby Club, who celebrated 2 years ago their 120th anniversary. And with the two clubs still in existence, we have pledged that we as ex-members and the older members of the community, and especially of the Thistle Rugby Club, that we're going to look at a financial arm that will help the players so that they too can also have privileges like all others. So the tournament was a very great success, and we thank all our sponsors for their contribution. And what is the future? What does the future hold for us? It is these types of games and tournaments and celebrations that need to continue. Our communities are deprived from sport, especially the great game of rugby. I don't know when and the next game will take place at the AR Abbas Stadium again. So that is a worrying factor. It seems to me we were drifted away from the game, and our communities are losing out. So we need to look into our communities and bring sport back so that they too can have the privileges that we used to have in the SACOS era. But it is of vital importance, as the struggle is not over, for black players, players like me, players like every other black player in this country. Rugby is taken away from us, and we should bring it back I don't know what the situation will be, that club rugby should be the priority of the South African Rugby Union. Because this is Martin Visagie speaking. I was served Thistles, the Thistle Rugby Club, administratively, as a coach and as their president for many years. And I was involved in SASA Rugby, the South African Senior School Sports, the college rugbies, where I was a selector, a national selector, and it is there where we need to go back to enhance the game of rugby. But as far as it's looking dim, if SARU and all other sporting associations, like our governmental bodies, not stepping in, then they will take this beautiful game away from us as well. I'm speaking on behalf of our young people so that they may come back. But I want to thank the LOC of the Thistle Rugby Club, myself, and the executive of this, who organized this game, this tournament, that it was a really successful tournament. Unfortunately, teams who could not come because of financial problems, even us struggled to stage this tournament because of the lack of finances. But we need to continue. The struggle for giving the rightful place in sport is still there, and I think that we can achieve it in the years to come. Thank you.
So, Mr. Visagie, you believe that sport should be in a community, that there should be community sport?
There should be community sport, there should be community facilities, and it is of vital importance because that is the primary objectives that we should advance. We believe competitions are not so important, but it's the facilities and that should be made available to our people and our children. It is only then that the community will benefit from the sport that they are presently engaging in. So, to be quite honest, if we don't work together and stand together as black sportsmen and women in this country, we're going to be losing out. Please let us get involved and do what is required from each one of us. That is my final statement. But the struggle continues, and we should support one another in this struggle. Thank you. Is that all right?